Welcome back. It is me. It is the Cyber Warrior. This is Cyber Warrior Studios, and I know you were all here for another amazing episode of Security Happy Hour, and I promise we're going to get into it. Before we get started, though, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share this stream, share this video so other people can join in on the conversation. That's the only way that people like Kari, who will be joining me here shortly, will be able to get seen and will be able to get this information out there is if you, the viewer, share, comment, and do all those things. Now, otherwise, I will be back in just a second. You know how I do. And I'm back. And hold on. There it is. The official kickoff of Security Happy Hour. And we are getting ready to get started. Kari, thank you for joining us this evening. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. And yourself?
I'm fantastic. It's Friday. It's Freya's Day. It's Security Happy Hour. And my son got his first scrimmage game tomorrow. So awesome. We're starting off with a bang. I got new ink. I got new ink like a week ago. So
nice. Oh, that makes it even better.
Exactly. So Kari, before we get started with today's topic, which is all about education and bootcamp scams, and this goes for IT, cybersecurity, and actually a lot of people will be able to take this forward in any career field they go to because these things exist everywhere. First, let's get started on how you got into cybersecurity because you were coming from a career of fire and EMS.
Mm-hmm. So I've been a paramedic and firefighter. Well, I've been in fire and EMS for the last 20 years, been a paramedic for the last, I'd say about 15. And I wanted to do something different. So my thought was, let's do something different. I want to transition into something where I'm still helping and I have that first responder-y kind of thing because I am an adrenaline junkie. And a friend of mine was like, well, you'd be kind of good at cybersecurity. Like you like puzzles. I am a big puzzle person. So he was like, oh yeah, you like puzzles. And well, in his parlance, well, you can at least turn on a computer. So you're 50% of the way there. Okay, fine. And so during the pandemic, when I was off, I had gotten COVID right at the very beginning. So I was off for about 6 weeks and started taking the Microsoft AWS courses. Yeah, it was like trying to drink out of a fire hose of how much information. So started narrowing it down, realized that I have a lot of the hard and soft skills for offensive security. And so that's just kind of where I've landed. So that's where I am now, is just spending my time trying to get certifications and experience to get into offensive security.
Oh, so how much do you like paperwork? Because you're going to be doing a lot of it.
I actually like paperwork. I love paperwork.
That's it. You're an anomaly.
I love paperwork. I have no issue with paperwork.
That is because the majority of what people don't realize, a lot of people that get into offensive security, whether that's pen testing, red teaming, whatever the case may be, they don't realize that, you'll have about a week, sometimes 2 weeks on a good client, maybe 3 weeks of actual offensive work. Then you still got 2 to 3 weeks to write the report. And usually the report time is like double whatever the testing time is to get that stuff out, or at least the exact same length of time. So about 50% of the time you're writing reports. The other 50% of the time you're doing testing, sometimes 60-40, whatever the case may be. But it's still a lot of report writing and something I don't enjoy. So whenever I was able to move up and move out of, writing reports, I was like, yep, please let me go.
No, I literally don't. I actually like report writing. I do just kind of in my spare time. I do enough writing anyways. So, it's just, I enjoy it. So.
Yeah. And it's funny because Amanda, who's in the chat right now, she's, one of my sisters. I love her to death. She's been on the show and, I kind of pulled her into the fold with all of her OSINT skills that she does and her ability to research and dig deep on people and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get her into one of those 3-letter agencies to start digging deeper on, interesting personnel. Yeah, but that's kind of my goal for her.
Yeah, I really found that as a bartender that I have a real gift for social engineering. And I've been able to do some really interesting stuff just by leveraging a little bit of social engineering, and it's actually kind of, so I really like that part of it, like the physical pen testing. I know how to get into places just by looking like I belong there, plus a little bit of social engineering. Yeah, no big deal.
Looking like you belong is like, just par for the course. I mean, I've been doing that since I was like 15, 16, walking into bars. I'm just saying.
You didn't, if you just look like you belong, nobody's going to question you.
Right? 17 years old, start growing a beard, and you're just like, I belong here. All right, cool. Walk right in.
Exactly. No, I've done it more times than not because, not to be too political, but if I walk into a building, who's going to ask me if I actually work there? Because they don't want that lawsuit.
Oh, not anymore. No.
So
this is the bad year for that. Don't do that.
Exactly.
You work there? Yes. You sure? You sure you want that question?
So yeah, I will, anyone looking, I will be your physical pen tester. I will just walk in. I will get to the right on. Why? Because nobody is going to question me saying, nobody's going to look at me and go, do you belong here? No one.
Nah, you hit all the markers. You're just
right.
No one's allowed to touch you. Go.
Yeah. And if I bring the service dog with me, we're good.
Oh, even better.
We're good. We're good.
But no, so getting in there's a lot of things about boot camps and education. Now, quick rundown: have you ever looked at getting a degree in cybersecurity or information systems, or was it strictly boot camps and personal learning that you looked into?
I started with personal learning. I started with YouTube University. I thought that was
best university out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And then when I started looking at jobs, because it's looking a little 2008 out here, I started looking at degrees. So I started looking at what WGU. I'm from Pittsburgh, so I looked at Pitt. Screw Penn State. So I was like, okay, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And all of it seemed like 4 years, 6 years, 2 years, when, at least at the time, 2020 was when I would say that I'd been kind of toying with it since 2016, but 2020 was when I actually sat down and started going through classwork. People were saying, oh, just get a cert and you can get a job. Right. And then go from there. So I was really thinking, oh, I'm going to get a cert somewhere. And then I'm going to do IT help desk, yell at people for not knowing how to turn off their computer. Okay, fine. And then use that IT help desk job to go to school for my bachelor's degree or, in specifically cybersecurity. So, but it was just, one of the first things that I encountered was there's just so many different directions to go.
Right.
And when I started, so I knew that I didn't want to do like sysops or DevOps or, that's not my wheelhouse. I have very little interest in it. So once I narrowed it down to pen testing, offensive security, yes, I wanted to be elite hacker with the hoodie and everything. Exactly. Yes. I watched Hacker. I
watch Hackers once a year at least. At least once a year I put on Hackers.
It's like a once a month movie in this house. So, I was like, that's who I want to be. I want to be the, I'm typing in, oh, I'm going to get into the mainframe as my mother, God bless her, is like, oh, you hacking into the mainframe today? No, Mom. So that was something so I knew what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to be, elite hacker, and I had to start figuring out what direction to go. And one of the first things that I feel that would help keep people away from these bootcamp scams is if everyone could agree on some sort of path.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, imagine, so not tech person. I fix bodies and not computers. I built a gaming computer through the pandemic, and I thought that was the coolest thing I've ever done. So when I'm looking at all this stuff, it's like, oh, okay, well, this website says, do some Google foo about it. This website says you need AZ900, Splunk, Network Plus, Security Plus, and CEH. Okay. This website says, oh, you only need Security Plus. Or this company in their job description says you only need Network Plus. And
or they say you need GX certified. You need to be GX certified, which I brought up to one company, and I said GX certified. I said, which one?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, what do you mean? I said, GX is a certifying organization through SANS. So you really need to narrow down which certification I need, because I could list off about 8 of them right now, and that's off the top of my head. That's not all of the ones they offer. And they were like, I'm like, yeah. As a recruiter, you might want to solidify your information or know cybersecurity certifications before you start asking and posting for this shit. And they were like,
yeah,
you're not wrong. I know I'm not wrong. I've been looking for a job for a while, and I keep seeing the same bullshit. I know.
Right. Or my favorite was the entry level SOC analyst job that asked for 15 years of experience, CISSP, a PhD, DOD 8750, and a TS/SCI clearance for $19 an hour. And I went, you know what? I am willing to fake it until I make it for that, because I mean, for $19 an hour,
Okay.
right? So that was the first, and so this is where I feel that people get, like, I was researching the Lambda Bootcamp that's now being sued by California. Yeah. This is how they got people in, where there's so much overwhelming information as to what to do, how to do it, who do you go to, what certification do you get first. I read things like in prep for this. I kind of sat through and I Googled a bunch of stuff, and I said, I Googled what would be the best certs for security for a incident responder, entry level incident responder. I looked through 30 web pages. Not a single one of them were the same.
See, and that's something that I know in my community. So with those that I follow and support, so you look at people like JJ Davey, Mike Miller, my boss Ryan Benson, and a bunch of other people. When you find your community, we will guide people towards what we think is right and wrong. But even then, we have debates about what is the best way forward. You look at AJ Yawn. Mm-hmm. AJ Yawn puts out a lot of good information. He's like, hey, GRC is one of the better places to start in cybersecurity if you have no experience. I can't deny that, because if you have no technical experience, a lot of people it's easier for them to understand process, procedure, and regulation than to get the technical experience. And through one, you get the other. So Big Nige, we'll get to you in a second, but I'm going to say yes. I already see your question. That's a yes, and we'll touch on that. But so you have to build your community, and instead of doing all these searches online, find your community. It could be in my Discord. It could be in, Hacker Valley Media's Discord, Kev Tech IT Support. I'm in his Discord. There's a bunch of others out there, but you find one and stick with it. And then if you find that's not working for you, and we're going to touch on that because it's a Discord channel that brought this up, but if you find one that's not working for you, then you switch. And then you're like, okay, let's concentrate more on this. That's not to say right away leave the other, but it is your Discord servers I have found where you'll get the most information as long as you get into it. Big Nige, discord.cyberwarriorstudios.com. That is how it's a permanent link, so you'll be able to go that way. But yeah, so Discord servers. But speaking of that is what has brought up this conversation about Bootcamp Scams. Let's talk about it, Kari. What has been your experience with one of the biggest scams you have found?
So before we go into this, I'm going to preface this with, I believe that every single person should get paid for whatever information they put out there. I do not believe that anyone should work for free. I'm going to talk about doing stuff for free or allowing people to have access for free. I just believe the people that do it should have some sort of income.
Speaking of which, I have super chats, and I have membership, and I have tips, just so you're aware. Cool. YouTube provides all that, and you see the running link down bottom. I'm just throwing that out there. If you want to support and love me, it's there.
And please, anyone that's from the several group chats that I posted this to, please, by all means, tip your server. He is awesome. So don't eat the meal. Anywho, so I just want to say that before, because I'm going to talk about like doing stuff for free, and I just want to get that out there that I do believe that everyone should be paid what they're worth. I just feel that there are certain things that are barrier to entry, and that's what we're going to get into. So, when I first started Googling to find something, just a little bit about myself, my husband travels for work, so it's just me and the dogs. I'm sure you can hear one of them chewing on his bone behind me. So but I am the first person in my family to be in tech. So it's not like I have somebody I can just call and go, hey, how do I do a sudo nmap? How do I, NC listen? I don't have that. My parents still believe that you have to download and log onto AOL to get onto the internet. So obviously I do not have a tech background. I am not kidding. I set up an entire wireless system in my parents' house, and I went there and I heard that AOL dial tone.
No.
Yes. And I went, what are you doing? And I was like, what is that? And they said, and my mother works in satellite. She's a satellite tech core technician. So she moves satellites so that you can get TV shows. And she goes, well, we still have to log onto AOL to get to the internet. Hi, Mom and Dad. They're actually watching. But that was so. I am not coming from a technical background at all. So this is part of it. This is who these boot camps get. They get people like me who have no one to turn to and say, is this right? So I started with the Microsoft AWS programs. It was AWS and IoT. And that actually got kind of creepy because then I realized just how interconnected we all are, right? That's.
I got a story about that. We're gonna get into it. I got a story about
that. I have two for you. As I said, that you and I can talk about that on a different podcast.
We're gonna touch on it. This episode we're talking.
Okay,
it's gonna happen.
So, it was just so much and I didn't understand it. How do you? As somebody who has no one else to talk to, I don't have that community. I don't have the connection. How am I going to know what I'm learning is right? How am I going to learn what? And it's very isolating because I'd sit at my computer where I'm sitting right now doing this for 8, 10, 12 hours. And I had no one to talk to about my day of work. So that's when I started pigeonholing and saying, okay, well, what do I want to do? Okay, cool. I knew that I wanted to do pen testing. I knew I wanted to do offensive security. That's been red team, purple team, blue team. Okay, I kind of like all the teams. That's just who I am as a person. So let's learn about all the teams and kind of narrow it down to there. And anytime you Googled, it would bring up links to this person's college or this person's Substack. Now, the Substack, that's where it starts. So when Substacks are put behind paywalls of $20, $30, $40, $50, and you have no idea what's behind that paywall, you're going to do one of two things. You're either not going to pay it. Oh, come and see.
You're either not going to pay it.
Right. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to pay for something that I can't even get a taste of, that I can't figure out what it might be. Okay, fine. So now you go from, all right, well, all of these Substacks or Medium Post or Washington, like any of like the big media sites, Patreon, YouTube. Like I found a lot of the YouTube channels were behind paywalls as well and subscription paywalls. And oh, my Discord's behind this $10 paywall. My Discord's behind, watch this video, but it's behind a $15 paywall. So if you're just getting into it, are you going to put out a couple of $100 to find out what's wrong? Not the one that's going to work for you, but what's wrong. So what I ended up doing was Twitter, because that's what every smart person does.
It's X now. We got to call it X.
X, sorry, X, yes.
Yeah.
I feel like doing the Triple H X or exact same. So I can also tell how old I am. So I was on there and it was like, because all of our shit is listening to us. Thank you, IoT. I started getting multiple threads about getting into cybersecurity.
Right.
Getting into IT. And so the first thing I saw was you can get one certification and get a 6-figure job.
Lies, but okay, continue.
Right. And so, I mean, for me, I went, okay, yeah, whatever. I've been a paramedic for 15 years, and as a paramedic, I've never been paid over $17 an hour. I do not know what what a 6-figure job looks like. So those ones I was like, whatever, fine. But then there started becoming more where they started with, do you want to get into cybersecurity? Yes. You need to take the Security Plus exam. Okay.
That one's legit. I'll give that one.
Oh, well, why don't you join our Discord where there's a study group? And so you join the Discord and everybody is kumbayaing in the Discord and having study chats, and people are passing flashcards back and forth to each other. And, you have that, depending on what schedule you work, you can find someone that's awake at your specific time to watch the Dion or the Messer or, pick the YouTube.
Which I hear is what became behind a paywall was Messer's videos.
I can say with 100% honesty, it was Jason Dion and Professor Messer videos that were put behind paywalls that people were passing off as their own. That was just the surface.
And I used to talk to Dion.
Yeah. Yeah. And it wasn't so much that Dion.
All right, so I'm going to put this out there. I don't normally do this. I don't normally get involved in this, but I'm going to put this out there right now because everybody needs to know. The person, the group, the situation we were talking about is Bowside Cyber. Yes, I follow him on X. I let him follow me. I really don't give a damn. If he's going to sit there and blast me, he can feel free to do so. At the end of the day, the shit he put out, the stuff he did, and the way he turned his Discord into you can only get training if you pay. What was the cost, Kari?
$500 for access to the Discord and $10,000 for the bootcamp. And there are screenshots.
So this is what we call a scam. When you are taking people's information, Jason Dion puts out a lot of free information. Professor Messer puts out a lot of free information. These are meant to help you pass your certifications while at the same time give you fundamental knowledge because they explain things in such a way that is not explained in most boot camps. Most boot camps only teach a test. I personally think a lot of boot camps, unless you go to the right one, but I'd say probably about 80% of them, 80 to 85, literally teach a test and teach you no fundamentals, and they actually teach you nothing about the job you're going to do. $10,000 is more than what it costs to go to a SANS course. I know because I was just looking up the management certification for SANS. MGT, actually, they're changing it to leader. So LDR, I think it's like 512 or 513. It's like a little over $7,000. And that includes
offer financing.
Right? But that includes an entire thing. But that's SANS. That is an actual official organization that certifies you. So $10,000 for a boot camp.
Yes.
For Security Plus, Net Plus, A Plus is absolutely ridiculous. Especially when I can literally get all those videos for free online. If it was his own original content, that'd be one thing. But when stuff is taken verbatim from other videos, that's a problem. And it doesn't get into the toxicity of the environment of which it became.
Yeah.
Space Tacos. I would love to know what boot camp you went to for $20,000 and how long that boot camp was. Because length also matters and whether or not travel, lodging, and things like that were included. So I need to know what was included in that to know what mattered, to know everything. Because even InfoSec Institute, which I praise, Keytron Evans, who took me through my CEH, and he taught me shit I never thought I would learn. My man taught me how to wipe my tracks better than anybody. Easy. Blue screen a computer and force them bitches to restart it and reboot it and do everything else, and they clear your tracks for you. 6 to 8 months. Okay, that makes sense for $20,000. Not going to lie, a 6 to 8 month boot camp for $20,000 actually makes sense. 1 week does not. But InfoSec, I forget what that cost me, or well, cost the military. But again, Keytron Evans legitimately taught us everything. Like he'd be like, all right, here's how you're going to learn to test. Now let me teach you how to actually do the job. Because a lot of people don't understand is these certifications don't teach you how to do the job. None of them do. I have never once gone to a certification that taught me how to do the job. Everything I've learned has either been on my own or from the instructors who said, okay, here's how to pass the test. Got that? All right, study that on the back end. Now let me teach you the real shit. Let me teach you how to actually do things. CEH, CPT, all that shit. Keytron Evans was on point and handled it. It was amazing. About that wallet, you're great. Which, by the way, real quick on live, I just want to say this. If you are not listening to About That Wallet, if you do care about your money, my man don't pay me. He just helps support me by sharing my videos, sharing my content, and I will do everything I can for him. Please go and listen to his podcast, learn more about money management. My man knows his shit and knows what he's talking about. Go ahead and follow that guy. But let's get more into scams.
Okay, yeah.
So we know Bowtie Cyber basically flipped everything, put everything behind a paywall that was excruciating, and it was stolen videos, stolen, content and things like that. So it wasn't like it was OG content. It was, I was never in his Discord or her Discord. I don't know whether it's a guy or girl.
Yes.
But, so I don't know the extent of some of the other stuff that went on. I only know about the paywalls and stuff like that. So, and that's my biggest concern. And so if you're going to offer something for free, then throw something behind it and then not let your OG customers and people that have been there for you kind of stick with it. There's an issue there. But there's other ones going on and I forgot to start. So let me find it real quick. Where is it?
I'm sorry.
Oh, be quiet, Siri. Quit listening to me right now. Big Nige. Are the people who messaged me on LinkedIn about certification scammers? They said they can help me get every certification in the world, in the whole wide world. Yes, they're all scammers because they're doing shit illegally. But seeing as how you are going for certification in learning and training and knowledge, Kari, what have you found come across LinkedIn ever since you started approaching cybersecurity?
They're 100% scams. They, I would say that the ones who message you about certification scammers and, they can help me get every certification in the world, they're just trying to take your money. I do know of 2 members within the Bowtie Cyber community who they got out before any of the stuff started, so I'm willing to keep them anonymous because, well, they were not involved in the fuck shit at the end. Sorry, I don't know if you can swear, but
you can say whatever the fuck you want. It's my show.
Cool. So there were at least 2 people who had used these LinkedIn certification, we can get you anything, and they were scammed out of thousands of dollars. So I would say if it's not Cyber Warrior Studios, if it's not Jason Dion, Professor Messer, whomever else on LinkedIn especially, I'll just say this kind of as like kind of a broad stroke overview. I would say the vast majority of the messages I get on LinkedIn are scammers, whether it's romance scammers, which that's just kind of
weird.
Get
those? Man,
I get them all the time.
I thought my beard was epic. I thought I would get more. Apparently, nobody wants to stalk me for the beard. I've been.
No, I get the let's move you somewhere. I want to take care of you. You don't need this cybersecurity job, right? Yeah, no,
I need a sugar mama. Come on now, I need someone to pay for my shit.
I mean, I'll pay for your shit. When I get my 6-figure job from that boot camp, I'll pay for your shit. There you go. But so yes, they are scammers. Please do not use them. Please do not use them. My name on this podcast is my name on LinkedIn. Please, by all means, connect with me. Follow me on LinkedIn. I will point everyone in the right direction, which is basically Cyber Warrior Studios in his Discord. Like we got this. We got this. And just kind of as an aside, I know that in the next coming couple of weeks, I do plan on creating a Discord, a Substack, that type of stuff for strictly entry level people. That the only people that would be allowed to give advice are people like Cyber Warriors, Simply Cyber, all of the ones that we actually know are legitimate people, not scammers. And there would be a repository of information from leaders within the industry that entry level, no experience folks could come to and go, okay, so the Cyber Warriors said do these things to start getting in. I like playing with them too. That's why I have Schutzhund dogs.
I do want to put up and say thank you, Jack, for the $2 in the super chats. Thank you. It stars them automatically on mine, so I wanted to make sure to thank you for that. But yeah, so here's the thing. A lot of people in cybersecurity have their own Discord servers, and then they get into other Discord servers. So yes, I have my own. Space Tacos, she has her own. Kari, as you start yours, let me know. I'll jump in yours also. I'm in Space Tacos. Space Tacos does a lot with GRC and mental health. Mine is all around cybersecurity and mental health as well, because I have the two different podcasts. I have this one, and then I have Walk With Me. And then most of my videos are mental health and motivation these days anyways, except for this show. You know, and so it's one of those things that these Discord servers can help you out. And yes, ask in every single one of them what the best path forward is for you. Every one. Because you're eventually going to come to a consensus of this certification should be first, or this YouTube channel, or this whatever. For instance, anybody who is just breaking into cyber, to avoid scammers, to avoid boot camps, to avoid everything else, anyone just trying to break into cyber with no technical experience whatsoever, I always refer to KevTech. My man puts out the best labs and tech videos for support and help desk and things like that. So I always refer them to him. Then I say, hey, I have a Security Onion playlist that shows you Security Onion so you can set up a blue team thing. And then I have a few Linux videos and a few Kali stuff, like some offensive security things, ParrotSec, stuff like that. But there's other people out there that do the same shit, and by all means, go through. But it's all about setting up your labs. The Linux Bible is a great one. I personally have, I can't think of it now. I did a whole video series on it. Linux Basics for Hackers by Occupy the Web. I went through his entire book, everything except for the last chapter about Python. So, you know, there's videos out there that, and books that, all right, about that wallet, have a good one, brother, that will teach you all these things. So any boot camp that only teaches, and here's where I'm going to flip things. Any boot camp that only teaches the test and does not actually teach the fundamentals and what you're going to do on the job and why this certification is important and why this knowledge is important is a scam.
Right.
That is the way I view it. And I saw this in the military. In the military, once 8570 came out, they wanted everybody to pass Security Plus, Net Plus, A Plus, whatever it was required to do that particular job. When that happened, what we found was if you went through a particular boot camp and got a certain voucher code, you got a certain exam. Because that instructor with that voucher code was meant to teach the questions and answers to this exam. If you failed or got a different voucher code for some reason, you got a different exam, and now your knowledge was different. So because they never taught you the foundations and the understanding behind all the information, you couldn't answer the questions. And I had that same problem when I was deployed. I had a soldier who apparently got, I think, A Plus or Security Plus, something. I don't know. She was promoted or something. I don't know. There was a whole lot of BS behind it. But I said, what is RAM? I don't know. What is port 443? I don't know. And yet you're supposed to be running my help desk. How the hell are you doing that when you can't tell me any basic technical info about the certifications you're supposed to have?
Right.
And that is why, if you get certified. Now, will I put my GREM on fucking resumes to get through the door somewhere? Yes. when they ask me questions, I will blatantly tell them, yes, I have a Grim. Yes, I passed it. Yes, I can learn it again, but I haven't touched that shit since I got it back in 2020. I have not reverse engineered any malware since 2020, but I have an active certification. It is there, which means I can relearn it and know it in less than a week. You just got to give me the time. But I don't apply for those jobs because I don't want those jobs, because I don't want to relearn that shit, because I am not a programmer. I don't ever want to be a programmer. I got it because it was offered to me, and I said, yeah, sure. You're paying for it. I'm going.
Right.
So any boot camp that is only teaching the test is a scam, in my opinion.
And I think that's what's really easy to slip beyond it's a scam veil when they don't do that. So when I talk about my experience with Bowtied Cyber,
yes,
one of the first things that happened, and now I know, like, I obviously I can look back on it and go, oh, I can see the specific things that were happening. But one of the first things that happened was love bombing, but not love bombing in the psychiatric way that is talked about the DSM-V. But it was, I had Bowtied Cyber himself reach out to me in DMs, and the DMs were very kind. It was very nice. He was very nice. It was, hey, what career are you transitioning from? Oh, I'm going from being a paramedic, firefighter, bartender, dog trainer to cybersecurity. Right. Oh, okay. Well, here, let me help you revamp your resume. Okay. And so at this point, I have already seen a lot of you have to pay for your LinkedIn optimization or whatever, or your resume optimization or your branding optimization, which that's something else that I'm going to do.
You boo-boo, but I ain't ever paid for shit.
So as just kind of a chicken moment, that is what they're telling entry-level people, is you have to pay for somebody to optimize your resume, because the ATS is going to eat your resume if you don't. So that's a couple $100 for a resume writer. And then, if you're on LinkedIn, nobody's going to find you on LinkedIn unless your LinkedIn is optimized, which I'll use that to segue into one of the first things that made me kind of look sideways and go, yeah, I'm going to tell Bowtied Cyber I'm doing this, but I'm not going to actually do it, was falsifying degrees and certifications. And so there is actual proof where within the Discord, he explained to people to just put a degree on there. Oh, the job says that you need a bachelor's degree. Just say that you have a bachelor's degree. They're never going to check. Oh, if you have a cert, you can put the cert in your education section, but just post it. So it's August now. So he would say to Security Plus. I'm going to take my Security Plus actually September 3rd. Security, but he would tell me to put Security Plus as August 2023. It's not saying that it's in progress. It's not saying that it's. I'm also not saying I have it. I don't say that I have, because it just says August 2023. And so that was how he was getting people to go past the ATS. And there are two specific creators that I'm not going to call out because I think that's wrong. But I will let you know after the stream, and we're not recording.
Yeah.
Who are telling people that if they just put certs and degrees on, nobody's going to notice. Now, how did that become an issue for me? When I was following the Bowtied Cyber path, and the Bowtied Cyber path is not only getting all of these degrees and optimizing your resume, but applying for no less than 100 jobs a day. So take me. with my trusty phone, my trusty iPad, and then my trusty desktop from the week before Thanksgiving in November until 3 weeks ago. I was applying to no less than 100 jobs a day. Yeah, nope. Yeah, no, I am. Nope. That look you have is exactly, and I didn't know what to do. And I'm going to, because I'm sure everyone just rolled their eyes and went like, okay, this is the dumbest bitch we've ever met. But what I'm going to say is,
it's the information you were given. I can't knock you for what you were told by someone who is apparently supposedly supposed to be a security person who can help people get people jobs.
certified.
Given the information he has put out on Twitter, or X rather, and Discord, apparently he's landed people 6-figure jobs in less than 90 days. But we'll get back to that. Finish your story. We'll get back to that.
He literally said to me at one point, I'm trying to find the specific screenshot, but to read it verbatim. But at one point, he said to me, I said to him, it was around my birthday. So my birthday is in February. And so from November to February, I have been applying to 100+ jobs a day. And the ones I've gotten callbacks from obviously were way over my head. I got a callback for director CISSP or something like that. And so, of course, I'm never going to be able to answer that question. Those questions in the technical end for you. And I would say the first moment that the shine started to crack was on my birthday, where I opened up my email when I woke up that morning and I had 319 rejection letters. So it's my birthday and my husband's out of town. So it is just me and my dogs, just us. And imagine waking up in the morning and having 319 rejection letters, and then to kind of kick off, that thing with somebody calling me and telling me it was a recruiter from a specific company that I'm not going to name, who called me and said, I don't know why you thought you were smart enough to do this on my birthday. And I'm home by myself.
Wait, hold up. No, time out. Did they really say that to you?
Yes.
Put that bitch on blast, because that is not shit you say to anybody. You say you do not fit the profile. You say you do not have the right experience. But to say that bullshit, no. On stream right now, put that fucking company on blast, because that is bullshit. I'm
not going to. I do personally have a level of, I would not just throw some company. There are companies that through this stream I'm going to throw down. I'm going to throw down that particular river, and they're going to be holding the shit end of the bucket. This particular company, I'm not, because there was an apology on the other end.
At least, okay.
There was an apology on the other end. There was an apology on the other end, and the recruiter themselves was a third party.
Okay.
So if I don't name and shame the company, that is because the company themselves did something. If I name and shame them, that means that they did absolutely nothing. And
I'll give you that.
Yeah. This waiting gesture would be better.
Yeah. I just, that aggravates me. So here's what I will say. So for everybody listening to this, listen, if you go through a boot camp, that is one thing. Boot camps will scam you. A lot of people will. We've discussed that. That is a huge ordeal. Anybody who messages you on LinkedIn guaranteeing 100%, that is and you know what? Space Talk goes, your dumpster fire, actually, that you just put in chat on YouTube. Says a lot. Excuse me. Anybody who messages you on LinkedIn saying 100% guarantee, they're trying to take the test for you, which is unethical and illegal, and you will lose your certification if they ever find out about it. And especially if they say, hey, contact me on WhatsApp, seriously, homie, if it's legit, you're going to tell me through email or something else. You're not going to put it on WhatsApp. I'm just saying, the moment you want to go through there, it's a scam. I have people that get a hold of me. I have a CISP, and I have more letters after my name than the freaking alphabet through SANS and a bunch of other organizations that are still like, hey, do you want to take your CISP? Do you want to take this cert, this cert, this cert, this cert? No, homie, I've gone above and beyond that. Oh, well, contact me on WhatsApp. Okay, so you're a bot and you're trying to scam me? Got you, homie. And I ignore them and block them or report them. Reporting them does nothing. LinkedIn does absolutely nothing to these scammers. Nothing.
Zero.
So you just gotta you gotta be cognizant, which is why, and I will say this to everybody out there: if you get contacted by any organization, which is why it's kind of aggravating you with InfoSec Institute right now, they're really stretching on their pass rate. I think it's like 99 or 100% right now that they're pushing for. But they were bought out, and there's been a lot of mergers, and marketing has been off the rails. But anybody who preaches 100% pass rate is a scam. They are literally giving you a test dump to pass certification. They're not teaching you anything. All it is. So if they're preaching 100%, it is a scam.
Absolutely.
That is the biggest thing with any boot camp. 100% automatically scam.
So just so that everyone, I will, on my Twitter and my LinkedIn tonight, I will post all this stuff. But for those who are probably sitting there going, no, nobody told you to do that, here you go. Make the current date look like you currently have it.
That blows my mind that they would tell you to do that. Now, I will say this. What I do advise people to do, and this has been done on many, many of occasions because of what people are searching for when these recruiters and things like that are searching for individuals. Do not put looking for cyber analyst job or potential cyber analyst or whatever as your headline. As your headline, whatever job you're looking for, that's what you put there. If you want to be an analyst, put cyber analyst. You want to be a pen tester, put pen tester. Put what you want to be. Don't put potential. Don't put looking for. Don't put future. Nothing like that. Put exactly the verbiage of what you want to be. You want to be junior pen tester? Put junior pen tester. You want to be pen tester in general and then have everybody look at you and see what you can get? Do it. But do not ever, 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 ever put learning to be da-da-da-da-da. No. Because you want these people to approach you, and these recruiters will approach you if you put, this is what I do. Aspiring. That's the word, Space Tacos. Aspiring yes. Analyst. Aspiring pen tester. No, bitch, you are a pen tester. You are a GRC person. You are an analyst. You are these things. Believe in yourself. Because when you get that interview, when you get that call, when you get that message, and you say, yeah, I can do this. Believe in yourself. You can do it. And then when they say, how much do you want? Just ask them what the salary range is. And then come in at top tier. So then they can knock you down a few. And you'll be like, all right, cool, I'll take that.
But that was the big thing was, if I'm going to sit here and, I will code myself this way for just 3 seconds. Cause I really hate the political coding as you go through. Yes, I am Black. Yes, I am queer. Yes, I am non-binary. So yeah, I got like a whole bunch of, and I have a service dog. I have a whole bunch of shit that goes against me. But I'm really fucking good at what I fucking do.
You only have so here's the thing, and I'm going to put this out there because this is my issue. You only have those things go against you if you make that your personality. So right. This is my problem. And I will flat out put it out there. When people started putting pronouns and everything, that became an issue because it became politicized real quick. Don't put it out there. This is what if somebody addresses you the wrong way, correct them and then go about your day. That can't be held against you. And so then they can't hold that against you, right? Because now it's not out there. If you come off as a female, you come off as a female. Now, race, completely different thing. That's a whole different topic. And we're not going to talk about that
Right,
online.
no.
But,
You and I will talk about that privately, definitely
yeah,
not on here.
but that's a whole different concept. But the moment pronouns came about on LinkedIn and Twitter and everything else, that is when it became politicized in the social media spectrum, because now you have to identify me as this way. Not, I'm going to look at you and say, hey, this, and then you can correct me, and then we can figure out if this is going to work as an organization. Me personally, I don't look at what anybody puts in their bios. I don't look if you put they, them. I don't look if you put she, her. I don't look if you put whatever you look like to me is how I'm going to address you. That's just how I am. That is, I'm 36 years old. This is legitimately, you're not going to change me at this point. Now, if you correct me, we will have a conversation. Bet I will respect you all day. But on social media, it's hard enough getting people to put the right name and spell my name correctly when it's in my profile, let alone address me the right way. Like, come on.
At least when it comes to the pronouns, I look at it like this. If somebody has their pronouns, so if I were to have written my pronouns next to my name, would I have felt some kind of way if somebody got them wrong because they were right there? Yes. But if you don't know, and especially, I'm not going to go into the not safe for work part of it, but the broad stroke is I do not look like anything else other than a woman. Even though I consider myself to be non-binary, I consider myself to be queer. There's a whole bunch of things.
But those things, but here's my problem with it. And I know we're getting off the Bootcamp Scams things right now, but my problem with this is this. Why does what you do at home or how you identify affect who you are? So those things should not matter in a job application. Those things should not matter in anything. They legitimately are at home. They are in your personal life. Now, if somebody asks about your personal life or your spouse or your significant other, all right, completely different story. They're asking, they want to know about it. But if they are not asking, I do not care what you do at home and in your private life. I personally don't. You do you, boo-boo. As long as you're happy and you produce work for me and you make me money, that's all I fucking care about. That is legitimately all I care about. Can you break into this fucking office and steal their computers and get on their servers and do what I need you to do? Cool. Bet. Have fun. That's all I need to know.
Right.
Like, so that has been my problem. This is taking a turn I didn't want it to turn, but I'm going to make it known. That is my problem is people have made it their entire personality. Oh, you were going to respect me as this queer, gender, non-conforming, whatever person. No. I'm going to respect you as a person. Can you do the damn job? I don't care what you identify as. I don't care what you look like. I don't care who you do. I care that you can do the job. Yes, are there assholes out there that will look at that shit? By all means, there are. Let's not get it twisted. There are. People don't like what's different from them. Me personally, and a lot of others that I follow and I communicate with, and those within my community, we don't care. We care, can you do the job? But if you make it your entire personality and say, oh, they are discriminating against me because of this, are they really, or can you just not do the job? That's really what it comes down to.
I'm going to ask you specifically a question, and that will determine exactly how the rest of this is going to go. If I were working for you, so me, working for you, knowing what you know about me, so queer, black, female, non-binary, service dog.
Yeah.
So that's what you know about me. As a truth. That's what you know about me.
Yeah.
If somebody called you and said, oh, I don't want Kari working for me, what would you say to that person?
I'd tell them either you want the best or you can get Ben.
So at that moment, you were wondering about, that's all it is. It is somebody acknowledging that no matter how somebody identifies, they're still good at their job. Because when I tell you that I personally, as a paramedic, I have given CPR to KKK members. I have literally had to
and that changes a lot of their lives sometimes because of who you are.
Yeah, no, I have saved. I went to a KKK compound where they were burning a cross, where they had a black person in effigy, and somebody was having a heart attack. Now me, I showed up there. And at the end of the day, when I showed up there, did I stop? Did I hesitate? Did I go, oh, no? No, I didn't.
No.
I got right down in that
and they're a person like anybody else.
I got in that dirt. I did CPR. And guess what? That person is alive to call me the hardy you are on Twitter. X, excuse me. So at the end of the day, it is not like the politically correct part. Everyone gets it. Oh, you have to be, you have to do all this stuff. No, it is if somebody were to look at you and say, I don't want Kari on this job because of insert thing here. So because she's black, because she's a woman, because she's gay or queer or whatever, because she has a service dog. Oh, I'm afraid of her dog. Oh, she's in interracial marriage. Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
If your response would be, well, then I guess like we're just not going to have business with you, then that's it. And that's all that people are ever wanting. They are just wanting somebody to go, well, if you don't want, if this is your line in the sand, we're not going to change it to somebody else just because you're upset about it. We're just going to let you find a new vendor.
And that's how I look at things, right? For me personally.
Uh-huh.
So where I work, I deal with the engineering side. So ours is all implementation. Someone came to me and legitimately said, hey, we don't want this person on there. Why? Are they failing at their job? Are they not doing X, Y, Z? Like, give me a reason. And they gave anything identifiable factors. Now, I will say this. If it came up anything other than race or gender, so either because she's a woman or because she's black, if anything else came up, that's when I'd ask the question, be like, well, how do you know that? Because that's when me and you would have a conversation, be like, hey, how did they find this out? Because it's supposed to be private, right? This is your personal life. They shouldn't know about these things. But from a race and gender standpoint, okay, so are they doing their job? Well, yeah. Is the work getting done? Yeah. Then why don't you want them? Well, because see ya. I don't want to do business with you. I don't do business with people that look at people as more than just people, right? You are a human being. That is all you are. You do you, boo. I don't care what you do on the back end. I care about who you are and if you can get the job done.
Right. And that's what the whole, I feel that people get lost on they get lost focusing on the micro, but nobody focuses on the macro. And the macro is, are you willing to lose a customer because somebody is being racist, sexist, homophobic, whatever?
Oh, yeah.
As long as somebody is doing the job, regardless of anything else.
I have no problem telling people to get bent. Absolutely none. Because here's the thing. You pay me for a job to get done. If the job's going to get done, I'm going to put the best person on the job.
Right.
And if you don't like them, then I can't help you. I'm in management. I'm not going to do the job for you. So somebody else is going to do that job. That person is going to be my best technical resource.
Mm-hmm.
If they cannot do that job, then I got a problem with them as a technical resource. But if they can do the job and you're choosing not to, well, now we got different problems.
Right.
Because you are choosing to take my best resource off the job, which means you don't want the best. You want someone that just conforms to your way of thinking.
No, but that's all. And so that's, we're very broad stroking an issue that I'm sure we can talk another 2, 3.
We can have a bunch of conversations about that. And I've had that in the past.
And I'm more than willing to have them with you, but to get back to the boot camp, this is actually part of it, because one of the first groups that I found, boot camp wise or whatever, they were very against women being in that group. Like, it's fine for men to be here, but I had somebody tell me that first group that I got into, well, when are you going to get pregnant? And here's me. I've been fucking sterilized because of cancer of the everything. There ain't the only children that are coming out are fucking puppies. Like, that's
Either
it.
that or adoptive kids. If maybe eventually one day you decide, you know what, I want to pay $30,000 to adopt a child that should have been adopted for free. That type of thing.
Right. And so I'm like, no, I'm never going to have a kid. And they went, well, you're a woman, so of course you are. And then I was blocked from everything. And I went, you know what? I'm good. Right, exactly. And
look, I got 5 boys. I have 5
Mhm.
boys. I got myself fixed after the 5th. Myself. I got fixed. I wasn't.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
But at the end of the day, to sit there, yes,
Weird.
women have kids. We know this. Everybody knows genetically women have children.
Mhm.
That is how science works.
Right.
But that doesn't take away from their ability. So whether or not they have kids, if everybody's working remotely now, with the exception of being on maybe, I don't know, a week of leave to give birth and heal up, and then you have to step away from the computer because you got to take care of your kid, an hour a day, like a few hours throughout the day. And it's actually more than a few hours. I don't know. My wife.
Oh God, it's awful. Yeah.
I don't even want to know how long it took her. But at the end of the day, we're all remote. So what the fuck does it matter? That's just like you taking PTO, homie. How many weeks of PTO do you take a year?
Right.
In this industry right now, we have a lot of jobs offering unlimited PTO. So how many weeks of PTO do you take?
Right.
And you're going to get mad because I take 2 hours a day to feed my kid or do this, that, and the third. And you, as someone who cannot have kids due to unfortunate circumstances that are beyond your control, cannot have kids.
Right.
And to block you and bring that to you, that is utter and complete bullshit. And this is why some of these Discord servers and some of the things that are said, and even in my Discord server, if you were to join mine, I don't know if you're in there yet or not, flat out, that shit don't fly with me. Alana, have a great weekend. But that shit don't fly. It doesn't. Because you will not disrespect people based on who they are. You want to not attack. You want to educate people on their knowledge. That is one thing, but you have to educate. But if you're going to attack people, that is different. And that is where I draw the line. You will not attack anybody.
Right.
And me and you talked about this beforehand. You want to bring up memes? Look, my Discord server has gone beyond cybersecurity. It is mental health. It is memes. It is shit posting. It is whatever. It is for everybody because I want everybody in there to have a good time. And I really wish more people would talk. It's kind of upsetting.
I will join your Discord just to talk because I am the party bringer. I'm the one who talks all the time. So
yes, I need more talkers. Griffin InfoSec comes in every once in a while. He's at DEF CON this week though, so and Hacker Summer Camp. So he's kind of
Summer Camp.
I've never been. I've been in the industry how many years now? Like 15 plus years? Never been.
Okay, so next year, you and I will go. It'll be my first year in Hacker Summer Camp, and it'll be your first year in Hacker Summer Camp. Because
I'm gonna try.
Because my thing is, I usually go to Vegas for SEMA, so the huge car show. So that's when I'm usually in Vegas. And so this kind of like coincides with my normal Vegas trip. So you and I will go together next year to Hacker Summer Camp, and we will do podcasts the whole time. That's what we'll do.
So I got it, which means one of my bonuses next year, I'm going to buy a computer that can actually do that because my laptop cannot currently do that, but we'll make that happen.
Do you need a desktop?
No, because if we're going to do it from Hacker Summer Camp, we need it on site, which means we need a laptop.
I'll ask my husband when he gets home because he builds computers. So,
all right. All right, we'll figure it out.
I mean, right.
But anyways, so on the concept of new people in cyber, bootcamp scams, IT scams, everything else like that, we are past the top of the hour. I want your final words on everything that people can avoid. Whatever you want to talk about, give us it in your last, I don't know, you talk as long as you want.
So the biggest things that people need to avoid when it comes to cybersecurity scams, period, is the idea that the boot camps are there for you, because they are not. They are not there for you. Just to kind of give you and I will make sure that the link to the Twitter thread, X thread, is available, and we can read through it. So part of this was, so here I am. I started at the very beginning, before it was paid, before things were behind Substacks, before things were behind paywalls or whatever. And everything was fine. And we were all like, we're having great study hours. We're having just like, it's great. It's like, oh, we're all sitting here. Everything is fine. We have people who understand us, understand the language we're speaking, because we're speaking coding language and we're speaking pen testing language, especially as a first gen or underrepresented. We don't have that. And so initially it started out with, I can't find anyone who can be consistent on how to break into cyber. Fine. I can't find anyone, so I'm just going to Google everyone. Okay, well, if you Google everyone, at some point somebody's going to tell you, go on to LinkedIn, go on to Twitter, go on to Facebook, go on to IG, go on to whatever else. And what you're going to see on there is a whole bunch of people pumping up an environment that there's no way on this planet that more than a percentage of us will ever get to. So things like, and this is, these are some of the notes that I've written over since I started on this whole process in 2020. And one of the notes that I wrote was, self-study can be isolating, because it can. As somebody who is an underrepresented in IT, so that means that there's very few people who look like me in IT. I didn't have anyone to talk to. So of course I was gonna be drawn to that boot camp, where I could go into this boot camp. I could have people who were doing the same thing I was, speaking the same language that I was. And it was okay, because like, oh, everyone's speaking the same language, and that's great. And that's the way that these bootcamp scams pull you in. So this is what they do. So once, a lot of this is going to be free from the beginning. And then they're going to do things like, they're going to draw you in and they're going to give you advice, but without giving you all the advice to leave the boot camp. So, oh yeah, this is, I did this in the Substack. So you get more information in the Substack. Oh, but the Substack is $25. Okay, well, I'm new into this, but okay, I'm going to jump into the Substack because that's what I'm supposed to do. And then you don't find out until later that the Substack is actually just plagiarized from someone. And, I know of 4 different people who had their Substack, their YouTube, their Patreon, and their TikTok plagiarized to be this behind the paywall information that you're supposedly not supposed to get behind the paywall. And so if you have these people who are like you, so, look at me. I'm almost 40. I'm a stay-at-home dog mom. So, let's kind of take out dog for kids. And, I have a significant other that works. And you have all these people who are kind of the same way. They are the lower earner. They are the stay-at-home spouse. They are pick something. And they want to do the thing that everyone else said they did, which was, I got into IT, tech, cybersecurity, and I am now making 6 figures. Take me as the warning. I have been trying to get into tech since 2020, actually since May 2020. I have tried boot camps. I have tried self-learning. I have tried the paid boot camps. I've tried the free boot camps. It is now August
3 years later.
Right. August 11th, 2023. I still have no job. 0 job.
So
if you're going to sit there and say, oh, well, and I'm going to give you this particular insight because this is the insight that not a lot of people understand. if you're in a boot camp right now, or you're in a Discord server right now where people are giving you, oh, hey, here's their redacted screenshot of their job interview. Here's their redacted screenshot of their new work badge. Here's their redacted screenshot of their new work contract. Those people who get all of that stuff are actually the friends of the people who started that job, and you will never know how much experience they have prior to. I am saying this as somebody who is a paramedic and firefighter who, up until 2020, I knew what MS-DOS was because I'm goddamn old, because that's what we ran the Oregon Trail on.
I grew up on DOS, but don't get it twisted. DOS.
Oh, no.
Commander Keen and Wolfenstein 3D. Don't get it twisted.
Commander Keen is my shit. I love Commander. But that's what I grew up on. So I can put on a resume, MS-DOS, Commander Keen, old school Oregon Trail, old school, literally, I can do, those of us who are
5 1/4-inch floppies, bitch. 5 1/4-inch floppies.
I still have a bunch, and I have an adapter that plugs into my computer. I specifically wanted something so that I could adapt 3 1/4-inch floppies to my doesn't even have a CDR stack. But if I can tell anyone anything, and if there's going to be something that's memed or gift or whatever, boot camps don't give a fuck about you.
They don't.
All they want is your money. All they want is your money. If you're going to sit here and you're going to pick out the section of this particular talk to broadcast everywhere, get onto LinkedIn. Don't pay for anyone's shit on LinkedIn. Don't even pay for LinkedIn Premium, because
that's a joke.
Right. Follow the Cyber Warrior. Follow myself. Follow Simply Cyber.
Tag Mike Miller. Mike Miller Cyber for free does freaking videos and shit all the time on how to break into cyber, how to help your career. Simon Lindstedt from the UK, Chris Cochran, Ronald Eddings, Monica Eddings, Jennifer Cochran. I can give you a slew of people. AJ Yawn. You don't have to pay for shit anymore. No. You legitimately don't.
I have discovered, especially over the last couple of weeks, that anything that I've ever paid prior to the certification that I have, which is the ISC squared, certified in cybersecurity. God, that's a tongue twister. It's the only one I paid for. Everything else, I got a voucher for, or was paid for through a class or whatever. Just figure out what you want to do in IT or cybersecurity.
Yeah. And
then follow the people who have already done it.
Yes.
And to that end, follow the people who have already done it, but don't follow the people who are requiring you to pay for education you can get on Google.
And that's the biggest thing. All right, so we're gonna finish this up. We're way past the top of the hour. I gotta put this on audio and fun shit. But I will say that is the biggest thing. There's so much free information out there. The school YouTube is real. It all comes down on how you learn in public, how you do these different things. I put out a post the other day this week about how it took me, even with 4 STAND certifications and a college degree and experience within the industry, it took me at least 6 months to get a job once I retired out of the Army. So those that have no experience in trying to break in, you have to know how to construct a resume, how to network, how to promote yourself, and how to do all these things. LinkedIn is another big way. Connect with people like myself, Ryan Benson, Samuel, what's he go by on there? Samuel Harris, I believe is his name on LinkedIn. I say Sam, but so many people on LinkedIn. Kari Andrea, if you are not connected to Andrea Myler on LinkedIn, you are missing out. She is posting jobs every single day. She has been on my show. She knows her shit. Andrea Myler, connect with her. Please do. Amanda Holton, connect with her. Please do. She's been on my show recently as well. Carlos Ayuso, connect with him. Infinite Improbability AI, that is Fernando. Shit, I'm going to mispronounce his last name. I call him Sarnar for a reason. But he's been on my show. You can find his contact info. But anyways, find these people and network. Networking is how you get jobs these days. Not necessarily sending out blind resumes.
Yeah, absolutely not. If there's something I could change, I would never have sent out. I actually sat today and I counted through every resume, every application I sent out from November until 3 weeks ago.
Your applications, I will guarantee you did this. You didn't even look at the job description. You didn't look at the description of the job, at least from the time you were in the Discord up until your birthday. So not recently, but at least then. It was apply. It said cybersecurity this, apply. It said cybersecurity that, apply. It said chief information, apply.
It was over $120,000 job, over 1,200 jobs, over.
So for all those out there that I say, go ahead and blast your shit out there. I say that in the context of, I really hope you're reading job descriptions, at least what the job entails.
Mm-hmm.
If your experience, if your capabilities, if your ability at all lines up to what the job entails, this is what you're going to have to do, then okay. But if you're coming as a junior and applying to senior roles, management roles, CISO roles, director roles, you're going to be called on your shit.
Right.
But
absolutely,
these junior roles and things like that, apply to every junior role that you feel you could do the job. Read what the job is, not what is required. Read what the job is. If you feel you can do that pen testing job, that an analyst job, or whatever the case may be, from what it says in the job description of what it entails, then apply. The certifications, the education, the experience on the back end, I don't fucking care. Read that initial paragraph. If that initial paragraph does not line up with who you are as a person or the job you want to do not apply, because then you are going to get so much heat and get burnout from applying to, like Kari here, over 100 jobs a day, and it's going to kill you. It is going to destroy you mentally and everything else. Don't do it. Make sure the job is something that you can actually do.
And I will say, as kind of the last kind of side point, I know for a fact I have been blackballed from 4 different companies because the people who were on Twitter or X or whatever saw him. He was on Bowtie Cyber was on Instagram, X, Facebook, and TikTok. People, especially hiring managers and recruiters, saw how he was telling people to set up their resumes, and they said that they would immediately, if they saw a specific thing that they could kind of link back to him, the applicant will be blackballed. I know for a fact right now that I'm blackballed from 3 very large companies. Because
as long as it ain't Fang. Well, if it's Fang, that's cool. I don't like Fang, so you know.
Neither do I. So no, I'm okay with that one.
All right, but anyways, hey, look, this has been an amazing episode. It is me, the Cyber Warrior. Right above me, I've got the amazing Kari Dickerson-Swain. This has been an amazing episode. Do not fall for scams. If anybody comes at you telling you they can give you 100% guaranteed certification, they're a liar, especially on LinkedIn. If anybody comes at you telling you that, hey, we can accomplish all your goals, they're a liar. There is not a school out there, a boot camp out there that can guarantee anything other than the fact that they will train you and hope that you will pass anything available. So please find, research, talk to us, talk to myself, talk to Kari, talk to Space Tacos, Infinite Probability AI, and so many other people that have gone through courses to understand what's going on. Gerald Auger is another good one for GRC. Otherwise, look, hey, I love you all. Please feel free, send a tip, come back, comment, share, like, subscribe, all those fun things. I also have merchandise and I'm on all social media. Y'all take care. You have a fantastic weekend, and I'll catch you all next week with another amazing episode of Security Happy Hour.